Lauren Beale turned to Mark Fowler Jr. with a life-changing request as her marriage to Peter continued to fall apart in the latest EastEnders scenes. The episode began with Lauren staying at Penny Branning's flat after Peter threw her out when he learned she had been involved in selling stolen cars alongside Mark. Although Lauren kept her kiss with Mark a secret, Peter sensed there was more she wasn't telling him. Hurt that she wasn't making any effort to save their relationship, he remained at home with their children while Cindy encouraged him to stop dwelling on the situation. Elsewhere, Penny noticed the awkward atmosphere between Lauren and Mark and questioned Lauren about what had happened. Lauren eventually admitted they had shared a kiss, but insisted it had only been a brief moment of attraction. As Penny continued to press her, Lauren confessed that the excitement she felt around Mark was unlike anything she experienced with Peter. Penny urged her not to make a reckless decision, reminding her that while Peter might seem predictable, he was still a caring partner and a devoted father. She warned Lauren not to make a choice she would later regret. At the cafe, Mark asked Peter how Lauren was doing, but Peter reacted angrily and demanded that Mark stay away from his family before storming out, with Cindy following close behind. Later, Mark caught up with Lauren at the market and asked whether she and Peter had separated. Avoiding a direct answer, Lauren simply told him they needed to have a serious conversation. When they met again at the gym, Lauren admitted that her feelings for Mark were real, but made it clear she would not allow those emotions to destroy her family. She explained that every time she saw him, the attraction was impossible to ignore, yet her children would always come first. As Mark encouraged Lauren to choose between him and Peter, she made a heartbreaking request. She told him that if he truly cared about her, he needed to leave Walford and never come back. The emotional plea leaves one big question hanging over Walford. Will Mark grant Lauren's wish and leave for good? Eve Panis-Anwyn faces an emotional week in EastEnders, as her and Suki's plans to celebrate their foster daughter Ria's birthday take a heartbreaking turn. Excited to mark Ria's first birthday since joining their family, Suki and Eve organize a special celebration at Harry's barn, hoping to give the young girl a memorable day surrounded by friends and loved ones. However, the joyful occasion quickly falls apart when Ria's biological mother fails to attend the party. Feeling rejected and deeply hurt, Ria struggles to control her emotions and lashes out in front of everyone. The situation becomes even more upsetting when George kindly brings Ria a birthday cake, only for the distressed youngster to knock it onto the floor. The unexpected outburst shocks the guests, leaving Eve unsure of how to comfort her foster daughter. Recognizing Eve's concern, Nicola steps in with some supportive advice. Encouraged by her words, Eve takes Ria outside for a private conversation where the pair finally begin to understand each other. Their heartfelt talk ends with an emotional hug, marking a significant breakthrough in their growing relationship. Afterward, Eve returns inside and shares a drink with Nicola. As they talk, the two women open up about the difficult relationships they have had with their own parents, creating an unexpected bond between them. Their conversation is suddenly interrupted when Nicola's son Harry arrives, prompting Nicola to abruptly end the discussion. Despite the awkward moment, Nicola later offers to organize a birthday celebration for Kojo. However, the chosen date coincides with the anniversary of her father's death, leaving her family worried she may be taking on too much emotionally. Earlier in the week, Eve also clashes with Suki after Suki confronts Jean over her overdue rent payments. Although Suki is determined to recover the missing money, Eve feels protective of Jean because of her close connection to the Slater family, leading to another disagreement between the married couple. With tensions at home, an emotional breakthrough with Ria, and conflict with Suki, Eve faces one of her most challenging weeks yet. The question now is whether her new bond with Ria will continue to grow despite the difficult circumstances. Crucial new truth about the weapon connected to the attack. Joel was violently attacked in the park over a week ago, leaving him unconscious and badly injured. Since the incident, every teenager involved has come under suspicion, with no one admitting who untied Joel before he was discovered bleeding on the ground. The group had previously filmed themselves tying Joel to a tree and pouring beer over him, but the mystery surrounding the final moments of the incident has remained unsolved. Earlier, Lily Slater admitted to her grandmother Jean that the teenagers had humiliated Joel and even showed her the video as proof. Jean later informed the other parents, including Jack Branning, and together they decided to keep the footage hidden from the authorities. That plan soon fell apart when Jean shared the video with Kat, who wasted no time telling Ross and Vicky exactly what had happened to Joel. In another major development, Barney Mitchell secretly removed a hammer from the scene immediately after the assault and asked his brother Harry to help hide it. Barney later admitted to Avani Nandrahat that he had taken the weapon because he believed she might have attacked Joel and wanted to shield her from suspicion. After noticing Barney was visibly distressed following his conversation with Avani, Zach encouraged his son to open up. Barney eventually confessed that he had taken the hammer away from the park after the attack. The situation intensified when Ross and Vicky confronted the other parents after watching the humiliating footage of Joel. Detective Craig Ingram soon arrived, viewed the video himself, and urged the parents to persuade their children to come forward if they knew anything else about the incident. Away from the others, Zach privately informed the detective that Barney had an important confession to make regarding the investigation. Jack then requested that the video should not be formally logged as evidence for the time being. Although Craig agreed, he warned that any fresh information would leave him with no choice but to question all of the teenagers involved. A major breakthrough followed when Craig informed Ross, Vicky and Joel that the hammer connected to the attack had been recovered by Barney. Joel then surprised everyone by asking Craig not to use the video as evidence. He explained that he wanted to move on from the ordeal and feared that an official investigation would only create more hostility between him and the other teenagers. Respecting Joel's wishes, Craig agreed to keep the footage out of the case for now. Later, Joel made a shocking confession to Ross, revealing that he had brought the hammer to the park himself because he believed he needed it for protection. He also admitted that he had pressured Avani into supporting his request to remain living in Albert Square. Wanting to make amends, Joel later approached Avani to apologize for everything that had happened and hoped they could put the past behind them. However, Avani firmly rejected his apology, making it clear that she would never forgive him or consider him a friend again. EastEnders is broadcast from Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One. New episodes are also released on BBC iPlayer at 6 a.m. on the day of transmission, allowing viewers to watch them before they air on television. Joel Marshall's shocking assault storyline took another dramatic twist as EastEnders revealed a